Good evening, everyone. My name is Warri Harris. I am from Storm Sisters Ministry. Our guest is Layliana. But we call her Lay.
Hi.
Topic is going to be motherhood. What is motherhood? Motherhood is the state of being a mother. That is the Webster definition. The biblical definition is a God given responsibility, a lifelong ministry of discipleship and guidance, a high calling focused on raising children in faith, modeling godly character, and teaching them wisdom. Seeing it as a partnership with God to nurture life and pass down truth, not just a biological role involving dedication, prayer, and discipline. The key aspects on where you'll find that in the Bible is Proverbs 22:6, Titus 2:4, Matthew 28:20, Deuteronomy 4:9, 1 Peter 3:8-9, Ephesians 6:4, Romans 8:28. Our first category is identity shift. Who am I after having a child? Ray, who are you? Can't hear you. Is your speaker on?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I would say I am mother. I'm the backbone of my kids, and a lot of it is I'm still trying to find who I am. It's been a struggle, but I'm getting the hang of it, and I still have some time to figure out who I am.
How do you handle your mental health?
I dance. Dancing is a big part of how I release and handle it. I dance with my church. I dance in my free time. I also journal. And a lot of mental just breaks and just like taking deep breaths because it can be a lot, especially just get like being a first time mom. It's a lot.
So if you're not able to dance, you said you journal.
I journal, yes.
What if you're not in the mood to journal?
Not in the mood to journal. I listen to music. I have a few playlists that I listen to just to unwind and just, relax.
Okay. Um, how has motherhood changed you personally?
Ooh. Motherhood has changed me personally by it's like not saying it wasn't going to happen eventually, but it forced me to think more long term and not just in the now. Before getting pregnant with Ezekiel, I just went with the flow of what was going on in my day-to-day life. I didn't never really question what was next or what I had, but now it's given me like a more push to figure out what I need and what my kids need and make sure that it's set in stone because it can be unpredictable at times, but if you have a plan, it goes a lot smoother.
Okay. We're going to rewind a little bit, okay?
Okay.
You failed when you found out you was pregnant.
You said what?
How did you feel when you found out you was pregnant?
I was scared. I was terrified. It all happened so fast. I was, to be real, I was on birth control, just living life, and I was not nowhere near prepared to get pregnant. It mentally, especially mentally, I was still going through a lot from my trauma. I just turned 20 and I was still healing from my childhood. So it was terrifying. It was terrifying. Yeah.
Did you have any support when you found out you were pregnant? Like
Yes, I did have a lot of support.
when you
Even though I wasn't ready, I had people that were there ready for me.
when you said you were still dealing with trauma, how did you manage to prepare yourself with dealing with the trauma
I
and preparing yourself to being a mother?
uh there was a lot of crying. A lot of crying. Obviously there's a lot of hormones with being pregnant, so I was not prepared for that part at all. I was such a crybaby. Um, but I talked to a lot of people. I had found people in my community that I was going to church with that were moms, and they helped me talk about it. And um, my husband's mom, she helped me through a lot of it also, because I didn't really have my mom to talk to, so her being there really helped me. And you know, she has daughters too that were there for me.
So would you say that played a factor on how you handled your mental health?
You said it's kind of, I can't really hear you.
I said, would you say that that played a factor on your mental health wise, like handling your mental health
Which part?
with the support on top of dealing with trauma while being pregnant?
If I didn't have the support, I would have been a lot harder. Um, it impacted in a healthy way for a good time. It was a lot of pressure. I feel like it was a lot of pressure because I had to live up to like something that I didn't know about. Like I didn't have the best example of motherhood, like growing up, but I know I had this pressure of who I wanted to be, and I was scared I couldn't be that person. So having the support really helped me to navigate that I could do it because I didn't think I could, especially mentally. Like I said, I wasn't in the best place mentally before getting pregnant. And with the emotions and the hormones, I was breaking down a lot. But I had people there to help me pick up the pieces.
Okay. How do you maintain your individual identity while being a mother?
At first, I didn't. I was so caught up in just being mom. I didn't think I had the time for individual identity. So finding myself took a while. It took about a year after having Ezekiel for me to actually like, okay, this is who I am now. Like this is what I do have I can be myself again. I can find myself again. And that was with my church. They have a dance ministry with our church, and it really helped me tune in to myself outside of being a mom because I was struggling. I had community, but I didn't have my community with like my age group, my people, friends outside of being a mom. I had I had to find it. And when I did find it, it was a release. I had my mental breakdowns with them. I had support from them. Didn't feel like I was being judged all the time. Because even though I don't think anyone was judging me, I don't think anybody realistically was judging me, but I felt like I was being judged just because I was judging myself. Yeah.
So, You maintained your individual identity by dancing, right?
Yes.
The only thing
And when I you said what?
that's the only thing.
Honestly, yes. I spent a lot of time in the studio, like a lot of time with the kids, without the kid, well, with my kid at the time. I only had one. So when I got pregnant again, I went through another identity crisis because I didn't dance. My pregnancy was the beginning of my pregnancy with my second was really rocky, and I was told not to dance anymore. So that alone was really challenging because I had thought I just found this identity with dancing and putting my all into it. After performances, I had to miss out on those things because I couldn't risk, having a miscarriage. So I had finding something else. I still haven't really found anything else outside of, just being home and listening to my music and just journaling. I've journaled a lot this pregnancy. Like I have 3 journals. I think I filled up 2 already, and I'm working on a new one. So I'm still struggling with finding something outside of dance because I really put everything into it. So it's still something new to me outside of dance. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm I'm gonna get there though.
You said you have two now. So
Yes.
how did your second pregnancy feel versus your first one?
My first pregnancy was terrifying because it was also new. My second went smoother. I was a lot more prepared. I was a lot more prepared materially and mentally until the complications started. I was 9 weeks pregnant at the time, and I was bleeding for like a whole week straight, passing blood clots, and I went to the emergency room, and they told me that I had miscarried. So it was stressful. I was in tears that whole weekend. And on Monday, my doctor called me and was like, I want you to come in to do some more testing. And we did. And did an ultrasound, and the baby was fine. My HCC levels went back up, but the damage was kind of already done mentally. So the rest of my pregnancy, I was really terrified and just scared that if I overdid anything, it would hurt the baby. So after a while, mentally, I was everywhere again compared to when I first found out. But materially and physically, in a way, it was a lot easier. I made sure to prepare. We prepared a lot for her compared to Ezekiel, because I knew what to do and I knew how to get it. I also had my own place this time throughout my pregnancy, so having my own space to channel myself was a lot better. 2 completely different situations with my pregnancies.
You said they told you you had you said they told you that you had a miscarriage.
Yes, the lady in the ER had told me that my HCC levels went down in the fetal. There was like no fetal movement after a while. Because when I first went in, she was moving a little bit, but it was really like skittish. Like she was moving a lot. And then after being there for like 2.5 hours, they came back in with my lab results and told me my HCC levels were declining rapidly. But when I went to my doctor the following week, she told me that I possibly miscarried a twin, so I could have been pregnant with twins. They don't know for sure, but that's the only thing they could think of outside of me having an abnormal uterus.
And how did you
So
feel about that? Being
you
told.
said what?
How did you feel about being told that you possibly miscarried? Because you know miscarriages that can weigh pretty heavy.
I was sad. I didn't really like speak about it a lot because it was like I can't do nothing about it. So I kind of like internally withheld that and just held it in. So I don't think I ever like really just processed it. completely. I think sometimes I still think about it. Like I could have had 3 kids. Oh my gosh. There was no real, I thought most people probably relieved of the pressure, but I just kind of just held it in internally. So I don't think I never really processed that.
Okay. We're gonna go to building your village, the power of community. How important is it to have a support system as a mother?
Ooh, I think it's very important, especially here recently. I've had a big boost in my community and the support that I didn't have my first time around. Um, my support was solely with my husband's family at first, and I didn't feel like I had anyone outside of them, outside of dancing, but now I have built a not really a larger community, but compared to what I had before, it's a trusting community. I had a hard time with trusting people because, when you've been hurt a lot, you don't really trust everybody. It's hard to trust everyone. So the community that I have now has really helped me feel more comfortable with being a mom, to know that I'm not the only one going through certain things. We all go through it. We all go through the postpartum. We all go through pain, the tears, the kids being them, their personalities developing. Like I have a toddler and a newborn right now, so it's been a lot. But I have a few people that will always show up when I need them outside of my husband's family, and it's been great.
Feel free to ask me questions if you have questions to ask me.
Oh, okay. How, okay. With the first one, how long did it take you to find your groove? You're a more experienced mom than I am. You have 3, you've been a mom longer. How long did it take you to find your flow of things?
With all three,
I say with the first 2, since recently.
uh, so with just two, hmm, it didn't really take me long to find my groove because of the support system I had. Even with me moving right before I had my second one, I had the support, and because at that time I was in school too. So the support system that I had, they would take the kids while I do my homework, or my husband would stay up and put them to bed while I do what I need to do. It was just about adjusting and time management, really figuring out what time to do what if I had them by myself and everybody was at work. So two, it didn't really take me long because I had some help.
What about with 3? With all 3 of them?
All three of them took me a minute. I said probably about a year to adjust to it. And I feel like it only took me that long because Carson was a preemie. So I was real cautious with him because how small he was.
Yeah.
So that would
Would
take
you
me.
say that, sorry,
Go ahead.
would you say with them being different ages, like kind of spaced out, did it make it easier? Or do you think it would have been, or was it harder, like adjusting and getting them all settled, the different gaps and milestones with them? Was it easier or harder adjusting to them?
In the beginning, it was a little rough. But once I got a system going, it got easier. And at the same time, because Corey is older, he's just a helper. He likes to help. So he would try to help to make it easier.
Hmm.
So I got them all on a consistent schedule. It was easy.
Ooh, schedule. That's been the problem with me. Finding a schedule. I know we were supposed to work on a schedule when I was pregnant, but I have this consistency issue that I'm working on. So, how did you form your like how did you find a schedule that worked for you? Did it take a few tries or were you able to figure it out? Since you had a little experience with just the two, then the one, but now the three, did that make it harder having the experience, or was it easy just to get in the flow with the schedule?
Because of who I'm married to, it was easy. Because he was the one that made the schedule and was like, this is what they need to do. And that was
Mm-hmm.
before he even started school. So he made the schedule on what to do. It was a little hard in the beginning because I wasn't with schedules. I was just going with the flow. But then when I realized they had to be put on the schedule for me to get stuff done, I was like, okay, let me go by the schedule that he made.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Carson came, it didn't make it any harder because the schedule was
Okay.
still there. He just adjusted it to add Carson in there because he was a newborn, had to feed him. But he took the night shift, so I was good.
Okay. Ooh. So how would you say I should make a schedule? Like what tips you could give me to help me make the schedule for a toddler and a newborn? He just turned 2 and she'll be 2 months on the 29th.
Toddler and a newborn. So do you know about the time frame of when she wakes up and sleeps? How long she sleeps?
Yes, she's been kind of congested like the last week and a half, so she's been like awake a lot more because she's been uncomfortable. But she sleeps a lot. She sleeps most of the day still. She wakes up. She doesn't cry a lot. She's a really calm baby. So it's not really hard. It's adjusting to my toddler. He's a wild one, so he's been like the one that I'm trying to I still haven't got a schedule with him yet. It's been
He go to school.
rocky. Yes, he goes to school in the day
What time he get out?
from he gets out at 1:45.
So between the time he goes to school and gets out of school, that's pretty much your time. Because nine times
Yes. So
um, little mama be sleeping.
she's asleep almost the whole time he's at school. So that's when I'll like clean. I'll draw, but it also rest though. I also get a lot of my rest on that time too, if I don't have anything to do.
So when he gets home, I would say have like stuff for him to do during the time frame because you know toddlers they don't have a long attention span at all whatsoever.
I say it's hard to keep him focused.
So you give them something different to do, and then play a game with him or something. Watch a movie, depending on how long he sits down for a movie, and
Okay.
depending on what time you're feeding, you'll get dinner ready if you haven't cooked it already.
Okay. That's another thing that's been hard with him, like figuring out what he likes to eat. It's been really difficult. He's so picky right now.
He's two.
Yes.
They're gonna be picky at that time. I learned that
Okay.
the hard way. Between 2 and 3, it's like they'll have days where they want to eat, they'll have days where they don't want to eat, or where they just want to snack and don't want solid foods.
Mhm.
So you just have to watch them and see.
Mhm. With his, I've been trying to get him to transition his cup because he seems to be a comfort for him. And I was told by his a doctor that if he's drinking a lot of milk, it'll make him less hungry for real food.
Yeah,
But it's a fight. It's a fight for that cup. And I've been having trouble getting him to get off of it. It's like a literal comfort, him in that milk.
have you tried like watered down juicy juice?
He
Not all,
can tell if it's watered down.
not all the way watered down, but
Okay.
add water into it.
Hmm.
But don't add so much to where it takes the flavor out.
Okay.
Because milk does make kids more fuller.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, the
Yeah.
milk is the main thing. He can tell if I water the milk down a bit, he will not drink it.
So try giving him like milk in the mornings, and then the rest of the day, juice or water.
Okay.
'Cause
Because at school, they give him very little. They give him water to drink throughout the day and milk at like feeding time. But if he's thirsty, they said they'll give him just a little bit. So when he gets home, he's acting like he hasn't had anything all day to drink.
I think it was Chris who always wanted milk, and I had to get him off by doing juice and water.
Hmm.
He just drink water like there's nothing else to drink.
Okay. Because he'll drink water out of my bottles, but he won't take water in his cup. He refuses to put water in his cup. He's like, that doesn't belong in there.
So even though he don't want it, you have to keep putting it in there because eventually, if he get thirsty, he gonna drink it.
Oh, that leads into a good question. So when your toddler's like being really defiant, I have a tendency like after trying, I do sometimes often give up. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But I know it's not gonna work. He's not gonna learn if I don't continue to keep going. But it seems like it's just sometimes it's easier to just let it be and just figure out a way around it. But I think that's probably feel like that's caused it to be more difficult for me now that I'm trying to be consistent with him. I don't know. Is that something that you went through?
Defining as far as what?
As in the nose, the tantrums, the throwing himself out. He's just been really rebellious lately.
He's a terrible twos. That's part of terrible twos. But yeah, I will do that. Going through it with Carson.
Okay. It's nice to know that I'm not alone in this.
You know, depending on what it is, will determine the discipline. So he may just sit down. Tantrum, he gets popped with
Mhm.
the tantrums. But if it's something like I said no, and you go do it anyway, probably I'll let you until you sit down for like 5, 10 minutes, and then let you go back to playing.
Okay.
If I don't,
I think it's the I've been doing like if I have to tell him more than once, I'll send him to his room. That seems to work better than me like popping him for some reason. It's like I don't know if it's I was an isolation kid. Like being isolated was it hurt. It hurt me as a kid. So I think he's kind of the same. But he's been like it really hurts his feelings when I send him to his room. And he'll creep out and be like, out, out. So I think that's been a good way for me to like discipline him. It's not, you need to whoop him. I'm like, I'm trying. It's not working. So I think what was my other question? How long did it take you to find your community?
hmm?
How long did it take you to find your community? And
Quarter,
how did you know they were the right people for you?
quarter is 7. It took me. I'm 29, so it took me me some years. I'm gonna just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, how did I know that they were right?
Mm-hmm. The right people for you.
I knew that they were right because it was something different. It wasn't how I
Yeah.
grew. It wasn't how I was raised. How I got disciplined. I just got into a different environment and saw how things were done differently,
Mm-hmm.
which could have a better outcome versus doing it how I grew up or how I was raised and having them come up the way that I came up.
Okay. So when it came to letting go of people, was it hard or easy? For me, it's been I want to say I'm not I don't want to say I'm soft, but I'm very forgiving. So I have to learn a few times before I get it. It's been hard. So I've let people back into my lives that did damage, and then it's working out compared to when it was putting me through hell.
Okay, when you say letting go of people, what do you
Like
mean?
friends, like anybody in your life, is it harder? Is it hard for you to let go, or has it been hard compared to now? Like, did you have to learn like hard lessons because you let them back in?
So it was hard in the beginning. It was very hard for me to let go of people, whether it was friends, family, whoever. It was very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But with the environment that I had moved to and the stuff that I was learning, there's times where you have to let people go to heal, find you, or whatever it is. And I felt like the purpose for me, it wasn't the purpose at the time, but realizing the purpose that I had to move was to find me, to find my voice, to find who I am outside of other people.
How do you know when it's safe to let someone back in? Like, does it take you making sure that you're mentally, like, do you have to be mentally prepared and not just outside of being mentally prepared, do you have to be physically? Like, I've been trying to be more forgiving, and it's backfired in my face a lot, especially with my own family. They're not really, I don't want to say they're not a part of my life, but I am very distant. But there's been people reaching out, and I don't know if it's, I feel like, I don't know if it's safe to let them back in. So how do you know when it's okay to try again?
So, necessarily, you can forgive people, but you don't have to let them back in. Now, if you choose to let them back in, it's baby steps. You figure out
Okay.
whatever it is that caused you to remove yourself from them. You take baby steps on coming back in to see if they've actually changed or if it's just you saying to hear so you can come back in. But then there's times where if you're fully healed from a particular situation that has happened,
Mm,
you know how far to let them in.
okay.
If you decide to let them in, you will know how far to let them back in.
Okay. My other question is, outside of being a mom, how have you found your like identity? Do you get a lot of free time to be you outside of being mom?
Have I found my identity. It's just not what I thought it would be.
Okay.
It took me a minute to find it. It did, but it didn't. I was more so running away from it than anything. But hey, but I did
Do you
uh, do stuff outside of being a mom.
do you ever miss or to have the desire to like have the freedom that you used to have? I found myself lately really missing, not saying the lifestyle, but the freedom. I
I do.
don't know if it's because I'm okay.
I do. But
Does it make you feel, do you feel bad about it? I feel so when I do have those moments where I'm like, I just like, I wish I just had time to just be me outside of being a mom. It's been, especially seeing what I'm missing out on as far as like what my non-mom friends are doing. I don't want to say like, oh, I'm jealous, but it's also like 'cause sometimes I do have a moment like, it's okay that I'm not there. I have to like talk to myself about it. Do you ever have those moments?
not to where it's like I do, but I don't. So if there's a moment where I have to where I miss something when I was not a mom, I look at it as if it's the reason I'm not out there with the friends that don't have kids, and I'm out here with the ones that do have kids because the mindset is different. Once you have a kid, your mindset,
Hmm.
well, some people's mindsets change.
Yeah.
And for the ones who don't have kids, they just continue to do what they do, unregretted. They don't think about certain stuff. They don't think about who it's going to affect or anything in that form of fashion. With being a mother, you have to, okay, how is this going to affect them?
Did you ever go through a phase where, like, so when I first had Ezekiel, I was still holding on to the friends that I had before getting pregnant. And it took some very hard lessons to realize that I had to let them go because it started becoming, are you gonna bring the baby? Or like that kind of situation. Like, if my baby can't be there, I shouldn't be there at all, anyways. Like, if my baby can't come with me, is where I started to get to. And now some of those people are coming back into my life wanting to be a part. So I've been having trouble letting them in. And I've been told that I've been mean or I don't like what did they do wrong and I have a problem not with being honest, but with not hurting people's feelings. So I'll sugarcoat things just to be peaceful sometimes. And it's hard.
Well, sugarcoating is not going to get you where you need to be. That's the best way I can put it. It's
Okay.
not more so of them doing anything. You gotta understand, you outgrow people. There's gonna be times where you outgrow people. So for the ones that don't have kids and is trying to come back, in some form or fashion, you have outgrown them. Your mindset is different. You have changed your mindset because you're a mother. Not only that, you're a mother too. So
Hmm.
you're probably thinking, okay, if I let you back in, how is it going to affect me? And then how is that going to affect the kids? Because how it affects you, it will affect the kids.
Okay.
They're going to feel it. Whether you think they not, they will feel it.
Did you deal with postpartum depression at all?
I did. I had that bad.
Did it, how long did it take you to navigate out of that? Or do you sometimes still have moments?
I mean, you're always going to have moments,
Hmm.
but it took me a while because, like you said in the beginning, I was still dealing with past trauma before I had kids, on top of having kids, figuring out how to deal with them. I was dealing with a lot. So it took me a minute.
Okay. Do you feel like therapy is something that moms should do, like not only for themselves but their kids at some point?
You said therapy?
Mhm.
Yes and no. Because therapy does not work for everybody.
Mm,
But for the ones that it would work for, yes, I would recommend it.
okay. Trying to think. I think those are all my questions for you. You answered a lot and have a lot of clarity.
Okay, we're going to do messy middle. Real talk on challenges.
Ooh.
What are some challenges you have faced in motherhood?
Somewhat.
What are some challenges you have faced in motherhood?
I've caught myself arguing with a toddler quite often. I have to remember he's a kid and I'm the adult, and I can't tell him how to manage and control his feelings if I can't do the same thing. So that's been my big challenge recently is navigating the emotions of being a mom because if I'm telling him not to hit or yell and but I'm doing the same thing, it's been like it feels I start to feel bad because I'm like, how am I telling him not to do these things when I'm doing it myself? If I'm emotional and not expressing my feelings how I should be, and I talk to him about it, I feel like kind of like a narcissist in a way. Like how I'm still struggling with that part. It's been really messy as far as that goes.
Okay.
I have to catch myself a lot.
One of my challenges is patience. I don't have patience. That's been
Ooh,
my that's been a challenge for me in motherhood. From 1 to 3, I still don't have patience. I'm working on it, but I don't have patience.
yeah. I could agree with you on that one. I've been doing better with it, but like I said earlier, I sometimes just kind of give up at times. So the and I think that relates back to my consistency with continually being on it, and then I just run out of patience and I just give up sometimes, depending on the situation.
The last question: what is the hardest part of motherhood?
The hardest part of motherhood. Oh, there's so many hard parts.
What's the
The
hardest?
hardest part. You said what?
What's the hardest part to you?
The hardest part of motherhood. I have to think about it.
Okay, while you think about it, I'm gonna tell you mine.
Okay.
For me, the hardest part is not allowing other adults to tell you how to manage your kids. Because some
That's
people
good.
are focused on how it was done back in the day, where we're not in that era no more.
Hmm.
Some people don't believe in the gentle parenting, or they believe in stitching for switches and all of that. Versus you can go another way about it without having to do all that.
I got it now. I feel like my hardest part with motherhood is not transferring generational trauma. I'm so scared of ruining or hurting my kids, not physically, but like mentally, verbally. It's been done to me, friends, family. So it's kind of hard sometimes. And it's a big fight I have myself when I realize you're doing the same thing. Like, how it's that's a big struggle for me is coping with figuring navigating generational curses need to be broken.
So,
And it's something that I know I've been told that if you continuously fight to change just one thing, you can create new ones. And that's scary.
and what I've learned on that particular thing, the more you try and think about what you don't want to do or how you don't want to end up, you tend eventually you're going to see yourself doing the exact same things or going down that similar path of someone that you don't want to end up like or do. So I've tried to, for me, I've tried not to think about it and I've tried to just do what wasn't done. So what was done
Mhm.
to me, I reverse it and do it in a nicer way or a gentle way versus doing it how it was done to me growing up.
Okay. What do you do when you catch yourself, if you have caught yourself, if you have done these things, what do you do when you catch yourself in the middle of it? How do you how would you reverse it in the moment? Like, how do you process it or handle that?
I pause. Like if I'm getting on to say Corey for example, and if I'm talking to him how I was taught to growing up, I would pause, tell him sorry, and then tell him to give me a minute and let me get my thoughts together, and then go back and talk to him in a different way.
Okay. How do you manage it with your toddler? Like Ezekiel, he's still learning to communicate, but his emotions are heavy. He's very emotional. He's like me, I'm very emotional. But and he's also learning like facial expressions and certain words. So I can see it on his face, the hurt, especially with yelling. I was yelled at a lot and I hated it. And I catch myself yelling at him, especially recently with it being more hard and challenging between him and me. I catch myself yelling a lot, and it hurts me when I realize that I'm doing it. I hurt myself realizing that I hurt him in that way.
So for me, I tell the boys to use their words, but with what you just said, even if it's after the fact, once you realize that, okay, I just yelled at him, that's not what I wanted to do, go back, say sorry, and then explain to him whatever it is that you was yelling at him for. If it was something he wasn't supposed to be doing, just you don't do this. If you want this, you use your words or just talk to him versus yelling.
Hmm.
They tend to respond better when you talk to them sometimes. Sometimes.
Okay. Easy. He's been in this little phase, and he won't look at me.
Well, that's
He'll
terrible.
look at me sideways.
He give you that side eye. That's terrible too. Chris and Carson gave it to me all the time. Carson still do it.
Oh, wow.
You got anything else to ask me?
Mm. You got any other questions?
Mm-mm.
So I'm gonna chime in.
Oh goodness.
um, I'm listening to both of you guys, and we're gonna backtrack a little bit. So both of you guys went through um, a scary moment during your pregnancy. Both of you guys had a scary moment. During that moment, uh, what was what were some things that were going through your mind?
I said during my scary moment, a big thing that was going through my mind was, what did I do wrong? Is it my fault? Or did it just happen? I blame myself a lot. That was the main question that was going through my mind at that moment. What did I do wrong? I was beating myself up really bad.
So for me, whew, mine was, is he gonna make it? Um, how did this happen? Went through my head on if I did everything right.
And also, when they told me I miscarried, I was angry. Before finding out that she was okay, I was really angry. Not with myself, just myself, but being honest, I was angry at my partner. I was angry at God because what's the point of going through this? Like, I was so angry. Then finding out that she was okay, I felt horrible. Like, he's gonna get it. God's gonna get us through it regardless. We're gonna be okay. But that moment of that terror and that frustration of not, of like, I just lost my child, I was angry and I didn't know what to do with that anger. So it was overwhelming.
So why were you mad at your partner?
I was just mad. Like, I don't know. I don't think it was nothing he did. It was just, I didn't know where else to direct it. I felt guilty for directing it at God, so I think I just took it out on him.
And how did he take it?
He
How did
was
he take
understanding. He was
how,
also hurt. Huh?
how did he take the miscarriage?
He was confused. He was really confused because everything was just fine. He was there, she was moving perfectly fine. He didn't know what was going on. Like, he was just really confused and just, I was just confused. I think he was just as hurt as I was too. He wasn't really angry. He didn't take anything out on me, but I definitely did take it out on him. Not like physically or like verbally, but I was very much like just kind of fed up with everything and everybody. I didn't want to be around anybody. I wanted to just escape, and I couldn't do that because I was already still a mother to a toddler. So I just felt a lot of pressure, quote unquote pressure that wasn't there, I guess you could say, because I was putting the pressure on myself.
I had more fear than anything because I had already had a miscarriage. So you can say I had already lost one and just wasn't living. And to have one out, I had mixed emotions. I didn't know how to feel. Um, my biggest fear was if he was gonna make it or not. So it was more fear than anything for me.
What was your calming moments during your most difficult times during your scary moment of your pregnancy? What gave you calm? Who or what gave you calmness?
Knowing that already after figuring out she was okay, but I needed to like rest and just be very careful and gentle with myself. I think the calming was knowing that I can do this because I have one healthy baby. So it is possible. So just him in general, he was kind of anchoring. Like, he really anchored me. Ezekiel did. Did that answer the question?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I said that three people kept me calm. Well, five. I said five. My husband, The two that I already had, my Aunt Tasha. Four, my bad, I miscounted. Four. Those were mine. Those are the ones who kept me calm. I was reminded that I had two at home that still needed me, so I couldn't really ponder on what I was pondering on. I couldn't really ponder on if he's gonna make it or what I did wrong, how I could have went about it, if I should have waited till I was 37, 38 weeks, like they said. And then some boys, they just, it's never a dull moment with them. So, and I would call to make sure I was okay. And she stayed positive through it. Did I answer your question?
So as a mother, both of y'all are married. So as married mothers, what can your husband do to help you be a better mother? Not a better mother. Let's
um,
not say the better mother because they can't help you be a better mother. How can they help you?
How can I make it
How can they
easy?
be? Yeah, how can they make it easier for you?
Helping cook?
That ain't
okay.
so. I asked that question because when we first got this, don't supposed to be this don't supposed to go like this, but whatever. When we first got together, I told her I wasn't going to do a few things. I was up front. I said I'm not going to cook. I only cook on special occasions, birthdays and anniversaries. Only time you get me to cook. I barely cook when you're sick, but I cook when you're sick sometimes. And I will wash clothes, but I won't fold them. I hate folding clothes. I just hate folding clothes. God knows I hate folding clothes. I'd rather roll in mud all day than fold clothes. So, um, me helping cook it won't work. But I asked the question, I knew that was gonna go there. So for you, like, what is something that your partner can do to make it easier? But I'll let Ladybug answer first.
I think.
Cook.
That's not. I don't want to say it's a hard question, but I
I
just
don't
can't
say just
think.
cook because everything else he do, he can help cook from time to time. Sometimes I'll be tired. I don't want to cook every day. He can cook one day a week.
I think my partner, to make it easier, the thing he could do would be helping with the consistency. I tend to struggle a lot with just being consistent with them, mainly with once again with Ezekiel. Uh, I feel like if he could help me make a schedule, and also, but not just me do the schedule, but us together like stay on it. Because sometimes, like I said, I what's the word? Lackadaisical. I get lazy and inconsistent, and I think I just need positive like not saying it's negative, but positive reinforcement behind it because I just can't figure it out to save my life by myself. Like myself, I can't figure it out. So I think maybe talk to him about him trying to do it would be better. It would help.
Hmm. So how have your support system? Have you went to your support system for that?
Yes and no. I think I've been given advice about how to do some things, but it just didn't work for me. I've been given advice how things work for the certain people, like for them. But when I tried it, it didn't work for me. So I have asked, went to my support system. It's just multiple people have tried and it just didn't work.
Hmm. So who were you before you became a mother?
Hmm.
Freshly, literally, right before becoming a mother, I graduated high school 2022 in May. I went to basic training for the army. I came back. Me being 19, I partied a little bit, and then I kind of chilled a little bit. Then I met my partner, and I think I was just a wild card at the time. I was very emotionally immature. I was still trying to figure out who I was because I got out of I don't want to say abusive home, but mentally it was very challenging. So I was still trying to navigate and find my people. But unfortunately, I was just giving in to all the wrong people. So I would say I was hurt, damaged, and emotionally immature. That's who I was before being a mother. And becoming a mom really and finding people who cared really helped. My husband's family has been very helpful and more there for me than my own family has been in so many ways, good and
Repeat,
bad.
repeat that again. I didn't hear the last part.
I said my husband's family has been there for me way more than my own family has ever been. Through
Okay.
the good and bad, they're always there.
That,
So before becoming a mom, I was lost. I wasn't in church. Hadn't been in church since as a kid. I didn't know I knew who God was, but I didn't know him personally. So I was just lost.
so you say having a child brought you to Jesus.
Yes, very much so.
Hmm. And I think I heard you earlier. You said you still don't know who you are or what your purpose is in life.
Yeah. I'm still learning. It's like sometimes I'll think I have figured it out, but if then it doesn't stick. So I'm still I'm still getting there.
So what was your purpose of going to the military?
To escape, I was still in my at the time I was in high school and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go to college. I knew that for sure. And I was just confused on what I wanted. And the recruiters came to the school and it sounded good. So I did it.
Why didn't you
It
want to?
sounded stable. So what?
Why didn't you want to go to school?
I had so much inconsistency with school growing up, missed a lot of school, had a bad experiences with teachers, just home life. I just never really enjoyed it. School was never something that I wanted to do for the educational part. It was always my escape. I was always looking for something to escape, and school was that reason. But trying to choose between college and military, it was I didn't think I couldn't afford it, and I didn't know what I wanted to go to college for. So the military just seemed like the easier route.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So you only have two kids. You have a toddler and you have a newborn. You have a boy and a girl.
Yes.
Must be nice. it must be nice. So with your boy, ooh, besides the tantrums, what is a challenge you have with your boy? with Ezekiel,
Mm,
other than the tantrums?
okay. A challenge outside of the tantrums, communicating with him. I don't know. It's still since he can't like since he's still learning to talk to me and tell me what he wants. Communication is my biggest challenge with him because I feel that that creates a lot of the chaos is not being able to clearly state what he wants because it can be frustrating knowing what you. I'm pretty sure it's frustrating knowing what you want, but you can't get it out. So, and I'm not understanding him, so it's just communicating. I feel like once I'm able to communicate with him, it'll be a lot smoother.
How do you deal with communicating with your two children? We're gonna exclude Cork. Cork can talk.
Well, Carson can happily talk, but if it's something I don't know what they're saying, I tell them to go get it or show me. And then once they show me, I tell them what it is and try to get them to say it.
Chris can talk.
Chris has his own language. Now, Chris, he's different. So with Chris, if he doesn't show me, we do sign language. So between sign language and showing me and having him say what it is how him and myself communicate. And if I don't understand him, I call Carson to translate for me because I understand Carson better than I understand Chris.
Okay. Anyways, what is the what are your happy moments with your children?
Doing TikTok.
Or let me rephrase that question. What are your happy moments when they are completing milestones without you trying to complete a milestone? So they're just doing it in the moment and they don't realize what they're doing.
I say relief. I feel like proud, relieved. Um, we've been trying to potty train Ezekiel, and even though he's getting the concept of it, but he don't always make it inside the potty. But it's the fact that he's learning it. It's really, it's been helpful because I was struggling. We were, we was a struggle. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I get excited, depending on what it is. I get excited, or I'd be like, "So you do know how to do it, and you just been playing me."
I have that feeling too.
Or what? They be playing you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So so late. When your partner's home, do you feel some type of way when you tell your kids to do something and they don't listen to you, but he turns around and tells them to do something and they go right to it? How did that make you feel as a mother?
Very frustrated. Oh, I was talking about this earlier. It's very frustrating because I feel like it's what I don't understand why it's so easy for him to do it, but me, it's a struggle. I'm saying the exact same thing. I can say it in the exact same tone, same authority, or think the same authority, sounds the same assertiveness, but it takes so many times, but dad says it and it's instant. It's very frustrating. At one point I was like, what am I doing wrong? That was a big question. Sometimes it still is like, what am I doing wrong? Why won't he listen to me? Yeah.
Y'all soft, but well, we're not gonna get into that.
So
My experience with watching, uh, in my opinion, you kind of set the tone when you play with them. So with your sister over here, her issue is she play with them, lose patience while playing with them because she started it and they want to keep going. She wants to stop it in the middle. Either one, because she getting beat up, or two, they sat on her stomach wrong way or hit her the wrong way and she's mad, but you started playing with them first. So, and it's different with me because when we play, we're going to play all the way. So if you come hit me, I'm hitting you back, you know? But that's the point of having boys. Over here, it's all boys, okay? All boys.
I get jumped 24/7.
So when I say uh uh attack, they in full throttle.
No, see, I mess with him, and he'll be like goons.
That's what I say, goons. That's what it is.
They all run in there.
All three.
Wait for him to say it,
that's wild.
and then they attack. But when I tell them to attack their daddy, they just sit there and look at me like I'm trying.
This is getting tag teamed.
That's the blessings of having all boys. That's the blessing of
Yeah,
having.
Ezekiel and Gerard's relationship is very different from him and mine. He's more playful and open to things with Gerard compared to me. So at one point I was like not jealous, but it was irritating.
Well, I can say for later, but she's very jealous of the relationships, especially with Corey, especially in the beginning.
Because Corey was
She
my
was
dog.
very jealous of Corey in the beginning.
Corey was my dog. He was my road
It's
dog.
hard how we birthed them, but y'all just so it's so easy. It shouldn't be that. It should be equal if anything, but
Should, but it's not.
okay.
Well, that's y'all opinion, but hey, if y'all had girls, well, no,
No,
it'll still be
because
the
if I had
same.
a girl, it'd be the same over here.
It's all with the love process. Okay, the it
I
all
love my
comes from
babies.
big. Well, I'm talking about being up late at night. I was that parent. I'm the one getting up in the middle of the night, dealing with the crying, you know, putting you to sleep. Well, I don't know what day it is. If that was you, I don't know what
Okay.
day I'm
I think it's the male thing. I think the males just
It's a male.
got y'all release some what is the science behind it? Some pheromones to connect with your kids or something. Because it just don't make no
It's gonna be
sense.
like that until they get older.
well, you
The
know,
older they get, the more they become a mama's boy.
don't hype
Hopefully,
yourself.
I have better luck with.
Don't
Hopefully, I
hype.
have better luck with my
I'm just
girl.
saying.
You know, maybe we'll have better luck with our girls. You can try to get you a girl.
No, no ma'am. I like how you try to throw that in there. No ma'am.
I don't think she'll be able to survive another child.
Definitely not no girl. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We're gonna rebuke that.
So when it came to naming your kids, how did you How did you name your kids? What persuaded you to name what you named them?
Ezekiel was easy because I had help between Gerard and my mother-in-law. It was really easy. I
Okay.
had no idea. I was struggling because I have a very interesting name. And I didn't want to, a name is something that is going to hold power. It's the first thing people think of when they think of you. And I want it to be something not just unique, but something powerful. So Ezekiel was very beautiful, and with the meaning that I saw behind Ezekiel was strength of God. So it was very easy for me to lean into that one more. Um, with Zyriel, it was difficult. I couldn't think of a name to save my life with her. So honestly, after trying the name generator, I went to TikTok and found a whole bunch of very unique names, and it was very easy.
Don't feel bad because one of Chris' name was off of a TV show.
Really?
His middle name is off a TV show.
It came from
A housewife.
Real Housewives of Potomac. Ashley's son is named Dean. So Christopher's middle name is Christopher Dean Harris.
Oh my goodness.
I
See,
just fell in love with it. I don't know why. I fell in love with it.
Yeah, when I picked that, the first two names I picked, I've had what was it? Wasn't it Promise? Yeah. I had picked the name Promise, and Gerard and Thaddeus were like, no. You know how many females I know with the name Promise in Tulsa? It was so bad. I couldn't think of anything, and they were all just dogging me about it. So I went to the great old TikTok, and I found some very beautiful names that were I didn't know. Nobody. I have never heard of no one named Zyriel or Emriel. He's saying he picked it. I picked it. That's all me.
Well, Carson.
Yeah.
Carson's middle name is DeAnthony. He's named after his uncle. I did that because I believe during the time Carson was doing that pregnancy, I talked to Quintel so much, I just felt like it needed to be named after him. We had built it, but we built the bond during that pregnancy. I mean, a tight bond. Because I named the last two.
With Ezekiel and Zyriel's middle names, Ezekiel has Gerard's middle name, Michael, because I did not want him to be a junior. So I was like, no, we can do the middle name. It's decent. Ezekiel Michael Long. Zyriel, her middle name was I felt like they're Gigi. Her name's Mary. So I gave her her middle name, and Gerard loved the name Rose. So her middle name is Mary Rose. So, something different. Angry.
So with having Ezekiel, I know he's only 2. Does he show any interest in sports?
Mm, yes. That kid has every athletic bone in his body. I think it helps that he has a dad that and then uncles that played sports. And I also come from a very athletic family. And he happens to be very interested, especially he likes I feel like soccer. He loves to kick the ball a lot. And throwing, yes, he likes the football. He loves to run. He likes to run. The boy can pick up some speed out of nowhere. He couldn't really run at first, but now he He might like track like mommy. Yeah, I played basketball and ran track, and I think we're gonna have a pretty athletic kid, and he's gonna be really tall. Both my brothers are like my youngest brother's 6'3", and my um the second oldest is 6'4". Uh, no, that's the baby. He's 6'4". They're tall, and I'm 5'11". So hopefully we'll have some D1 players, you know. Daddy 6 foot. He said, "Daddy 6 foot." He's an inch taller than me, and I'm 5'11". So
So, hey, but how do you deal with boys
he's
that
very
play
interested.
sports?
I be tired. I play sports, but I'm not in shape like I used to be, so I be tired. I got
It's
one.
okay, me too.
Corey likes basketball. He said he wanted to play football. That's a question mark. And I think he said soccer. I see Carson playing football, most definitely. Chris like kicking the ball too, but they be wearing me out.
Well, motherhood can be hard, apparently.
Most definitely.
Apparently,
Most
his
definitely.
fatherhood's so easy.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Um, but I will say, um, I believe the lesson. Okay, actually, being 2025 as a mother, what has been your biggest lesson?
That I have to control my emotions just as much as my kid. I tell my kid he has to. I feel like I keep showing him that it's okay to be. Ooh. That it's okay to be emotionally everywhere, but it's been very hard to keep especially when I'm pregnant. I'm just emotional disaster. And it's just I think that's the hardest lesson of 2025 wasn't that the question? What's the hardest lesson in 2025?
Yeah,
Is controlling my emotions because if I can't control them, I can't teach my kid how to control them because he's gonna watch what I do.
For me, um, it's a few, but the main one I would say not allowing so many voices to discipline when it comes to disciplining your kids. Yep. But when you got two,
That's a good one.
huh?
I feel like it's a good one because one person's way of discipline can really mentally damage a kid compared to how you know your kids are. Only you know the depth of your kid's emotional state. I feel. Um,
Okay. That is going to conclude Kingdom Chaos Motherhood. We want to thank everyone for watching and tuning in.